Hello everybody, welcome back. BloodWolf here for part 2 of our Let's Play series for Mortal Shell. So in the last video we grabbed all of our shells, got an upgrade material for our sword, and in this video we're actually going to be grabbing another upgrade material as well as our other 3 weapons. But first...
Yes. Taste the truth.
We're going to sip from the cup, and we're going to seek our shell's name. This allows us to upgrade it. Now, I've played around with
brigands pointed us
the
to
other
the temple,
shells, and
their allegiances
I'm
lie
really
to
liking
those
this
who are
one
Fatah,
and the
or spirits.
one that
They entertain
focuses
themselves
on
with drunken
weapon
antics or violent cruelties. They know better than to attack us. But they followed us at a distance, hoping for scraps.
But I think we are going to stick with this one for the Let's Play. I really like how this one, well, first off, gaining glimpses has a chance to restore some health. Glimpses aren't always guaranteed drops, but that definitely helps. And then the majority of the other abilities are focused around hardening, which is nice, especially since that is a core mechanic of this game. So let's see. I'm gonna take these off because these actually, let's see, remove, give us glimpses, as you can see, and we don't want to waste those by accident. Also take that off. We are actually going to use these and max that out because they, once you max it out, they allow you to gain immunity from damage, or poison damage, which we may end up needing to use in a little bit here. So, no, that's the wrong button. Sign. There we go. Is there anything else we want to throw on? Do we... Okay, we've got one glimpse. You know, it's not going to be that big of a deal if we lose one glimpse. We're going to max this out. What this does is it teleports you back to the last Saster Janessa that you interacted with. But unfortunately at the cost of all of your glimpses. Now, if you max it out, it will only be for half of your glimpses. Alright, now that we've got that done, we are actually going to apply our weapon enhancement for the hollowed sword. And that'll give us our resolve, our weapon art. Alright, so with that, actually, you know what? We're going to make our way. Let's see. We're going to go after my favorite weapon first. Mainly because it's probably it's not the hardest one to obtain, but the weapon art upgrade is arguably the hardest one to get. So gonna go this way. Actually, you know what? Scratch that for just a second. We're going to go get that other weapon upgrade that I spoke about. This one that we are going to get can be applied to any weapon. It's not weapon specific, which is the main reason why we're going to go grab that first. Because once we get our new weapon, we'll apply that to it. Grab some welt caps. Oh, fun guy. Parry so I could regain some health, but that's not gonna happen. That was collect myself. The weird thing is I find those guys a little easier to carry than most other enemies. Alright, and now we've got our quenching acid. That's going to increase weapon damage on any weapon it's applied to. And with that we're going to run back. There's going to be a lot of running and dodging to get some of this stuff. Now, I do want to point out that this entrance will lead us to one of the weapons we're going to get. That's the giant bat area. However, I am going to show you guys, I guess you could call it a shortcut. And I forgot about the bear traps. I mean, if you're just running through the area, it's fairly easy to make it to the temple out that way. But the shortcut, from my experience, you seem to be able to avoid a lot of enemies. So if you're not looking for a big fight, if you just want to make your way to the temple, that'll be the way. Here. Now there's going to be a guy guarding this. You want to be the entrance to this place. You want to be a little careful because it's, you can see it's on that narrow bridge, and it is really easy to fall off. Granted, this guy is not that hard to beat. Go in, weapon armor, harden. And like I said, it's easy to fall off. You're better off dodging backwards rather than side to side like I just did. Oh.
I've kept your flesh safe.
But yes, each new weapon is going to be located in at the start of each temple. And then aside from the one we are going after right now, the upgrade materials are fairly close to the entrance. Granted, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a long trek to get to this first upgrade material. It's more that the place, it's easy to get lost in this temple. I get what was the name of that place? The Mortal Gym or something like that. We'll see once we get in there. But as long as you know where the upgrade material is, it's fairly easy to get to. It's just behind a plethora of enemies. We'll pop a full cap. Luckily, well, first off, does this guy I don't believe this guy respawns. But we're gonna enter the temple and activate Sister Ganesha, or Janessa? Just call them Sisters. And take a sip from the cup, and that'll get us back to full health. Now, in my opinion, in terms of obtaining the weapons, this one is either the easiest or the second easiest.
But you may regret trespassing. I speak not only of my brothers and sisters, but of their twins. Just as every flame casts a shadow, so too does the spirit, and here they manifest. Reflections, birthed from a broken mirror, a shattered place. Best not to burden yourself with such thoughts.
Now let me sip. There we go. Now this temple is going to be the last one we do. You know, like most Souls-likes, it doesn't necessarily matter what order you do them in. However, this temple has a mass of heavy-hitting enemies, so it'd be a lot easier to take down, unless you're looking for a challenge with more abilities. So as I was saying before, this one, in my opinion, is probably the easiest weapon to get, because to get the weapons, you have to, it's just like in the tutorial, you have to fight, what was his name? Hater? I think it was Hater. And once you beat him, Hadern, yeah. Once you beat him, you obtain that weapon. It's a little easier to pause. He likes to do that a lot. So you can come in. it is a fast-moving weapon. It's really easy to miss that parry window. I think that's still. Ooh, and that is its weapon art. Nice little AoE attack. And whipping these. Either I'm parrying too early or too late. Weapon down. Now, had we used the acid on our hallowed sword, which you definitely can, that would have been a little bit easier. Gotta grab the weapon first from the statue. Hammer and chisel. Alright, so quenching acid. And then what we'll be going after is the perfumed censer. I have not found the foul sensor yet. I don't know if it's in this temple or if there's something after you complete all 3 temples, and maybe that's where you find the secondary weapon enhancements. But for now, we're going to be going after the perfume sensor. Make sure to heal
Sip
up.
This.
Let me see. Is there something? That one used in conjunction with that would be nice. Well, that's 20, and we don't have enough tar. But that one would be make running through here a lot easier. Alright, so as I said, we're gonna run through this. There's some rope caps over here. Stay out. And now, I unfortunately have not figured out the parrying time for that guy. Otherwise, I might have just taken him on to show his moveset. For now. So out the entrance door, you go to the left through the teleporter. Run out. Right. Hop into this teleporter, and then this is the hard part. I don't know what's harder, getting there or getting back. So you're gonna run around here. These ghosts will sometimes spawn swords up out of the ground to try and hit you. That enemy on my right has a rapid-firing ballista, and these are dual-wielding fencers. That while we're at it. And as you can see, there are a bunch of ballista wielding enemies around us, so we're going to run back. Now if we can get back to this teleporter, the rest of the way is fairly smooth. I'm not looking forward to this temple. I actually have not explored it all that much in my secondary file. Granted, I haven't explored too much of the thru temples. We're actually going to start. The first one we go through will actually be the one that I'm most familiar with.
Slowly.
Alright. So we'll come up here, and like we did with the hallowed sword, hands. Yep, so once you gain resolve, you use the weapon ability. Does that AoE you saw Hater do, which shoots out an AoE of daggers. Alright, so we're gonna head back to the tower. I realize there is a merchant and an achievement that I did not cover in the last video. We run out here, we see this guy's no longer here. Now, when I was playing around in my other file, we both actually fell off the ledge, and when I came back, he was there. So I think you yourself have to kill him for him to stop appearing. And I know he doesn't reappear because after you talk to a sister, then the world state restarts. Everybody restarts. Bear traps. Now there is an achievement for killing an enemy with a bear trap. You can easily just kite them around that area. Those are the weakest enemies there are. I think it takes 3 or 4 hits. So you could even weaken them. If your weapon isn't upgraded, then you can hit them twice and kite them in, and it should only take 1 or 2 hits with the bear trap.
Taste the truth.
Sip. I don't know if you necessarily have to sip. So that it registers your. That's the area you're in. You might just have. All you might have to do is talk to them, but better to be safe than sorry. So you'll come out the back door. Take a left, come around the side and follow these stairs up. First thing here is this cat you can pet. It'll give you an achievement or trophy depending on what you're playing on. this guy here is our merchant.
Aren't you a rare specimen? Rather dashing in that curious attire.
As far as I'm aware, this is the
And
only
what
merchant.
of on the inside? You must be a gentleman. Certainly not one of those boorish fanatics. Welcome then. I'll warp some tea. In the meantime, why not take a look at my wares? Surely there's something you'll fancy amongst my collection.
I mean, we can grab, he's got roasted rats, which are great healing items, as I said, inferior moonshine, large bolts, which will work with the ballista zuka, script of euphoria, which I haven't used yet, so I'm not quite sure what that does. Golden bell and bronze bell. Now I'm assuming they do the same thing. The bronze bell will increase the amount of tar you generate from killing enemies for a certain amount of time, so I'm assuming the gold bell does the same thing, just for a longer period of time. The loot, we know what it does. And then this right here, quenching acid, he's got 2 more of them, so you could, what is it, 2,500? You could go out, get 5,000, and buy these 2, upgrade your weapon a little bit more. Then he's got Effigy of Haros. Now the effigies, I haven't tried what the unnamed effigies do, but I can guess. So Haros is the shell we are using now. So when you use an effigy of Haros, if you're using any other effigy, you will immediately flip over to Haros. Now, I don't quite remember if there is a catch, like it costs glimpses or tar, but that's something to keep in mind. And then tools, this is how you get the ballista zuka. Back here, you'll notice there's a little shiny object. That is going to be a bronze bell. Now, the best way I found to get down here is do that. And, alright, so we are going to, let me get my bearings. You know what, we're going to clear this camp out up here. Show off the new weapon. I thought that big guy was a little fuck on. Superior moonshot. With that one. Right. Cap. Roasted rat. untarnished mask. Now this is where is it? This is as you can see down here. This is that tarnished mask that we got from the Sister. Unlimited use. This one, you can. It's got a limited use, but they do the same exact thing. We grabbed everything. Alright, so we're gonna head on out to the next weapon. We're gonna do a little bit. Let's see. Able to show you guys where all the weapons are before this. Oh, God! That happened. Now, I do like about the he's known as the Scholar, but I haven't named him in this Let's Play. He is the one that focuses on weapon arts. The nice thing about him is he has a special ability that when you are departed from your shell. Now, normally when you're departed from your shell, the enemies around your shell, they harden. However, the time they harden is about a second or two. Now, with the Scholar, I think that was his name. I'll have to double check that.
You've kept me waiting, foundling.
The enemies around your shell harden
Do
even
not
longer.
worry.
It
only a
basically
jest.
makes it so that you can just hop
This
right
path
into your
ahead
body, no
is
problem.
littered with monuments to suffering. Thought I might lighten the mood. Not that I've ever had much talent for humor. I once knew a man who took the sacrament of ashes. He laughed all the time. Now I'm rambling like an old crone. You're here for another sip, aren't you?
Regain our health. Let me see, because this next weapon is the hardest of the three to get. It's still fairly easy. Twice as long upon being broken. Chance for an enemy. He's not going to drop any glimpses as far as I know. So those... No. We might go for that. We might have enough glimpses if we pop some. I'd love to get that, but I don't think we'll be able to get enough. Alright, let's see what glimpses we have. We have a glimpse of reverie, which I think is only 1 or 2. Actually, glimpse of futility is 1. Reverie, I believe, is 2. Wisdom is somewhere between 3 and 5. And I actually have not popped affection before, so yeah, we're gonna use it now. Alright, so that's 4. There's 5. Ah, 1 short. We don't have any more, do we? No, we do not. Ah. Alright, well, what can we get?
Yes.
That doesn't matter because it's a boss fight. nice little thing. It gives you the ability to kick enemies. And I did see there's an achievement for kicking an enemy off of a ledge, which if you get that before you head to the hammer and or the hammer and chisel, you could probably, I haven't tested it out, you could probably kick that guy off the ledge. You'll obviously want to be careful though. Darn it. Alright, you know what? We're just gonna get a couple of things.
Yes, taste the truth.
Or it was 1100. Wait a minute. Now we have 15. Get 2500. That's the question. Because if I remember correctly, I think that's only 500.
Yes, slowly now.
You know what? The Hadron's gonna hit really hard with this next weapon, so we're gonna go with this one. Leave it at that. Hop on over here, grab the book. Yeah. This is like the only cutscene I know that's not so this weapon's going to be the long mace. Its weapon art adds fire damage, so you can set enemies on fire. It's also good. The light attack is good for mobs because it gives out a sweet motion. That'll max us out. It was a little bit. Very bottom left, there's a secondary circle next to our harden ability. That circle will tell us, or will tell you if you are able to get back into your shell. If you're able to return to your shell, there will be a little white dot. We just returned to our shell, so we expect. now, if you would like, you can take the flaming long mace. By a fish. Alright, now we've got one more weapon to get. But before that, we're gonna heal, and I'll show you where the...
Yes, taste the truth.
Weapon art material is. We're not gonna take that, well, we'll take it, that way we register it, because back at the tower, if you want to switch off weapons, you can do that rather than let's see if I even was it down here? Yes. Alright, so grab that, and then you'll want to run out because there's some ghosts in here.
Sip this.
Apply this, but we're not going to be using this weapon in the Let's Play. As you can see, there's a light combo, there's a heavy attack. And yes, it takes a lot more stamina than I think any of the other weapons. That's the heavy combo, and here's the and then any enemy you hit after the fact, you will light on fire. So we're going to switch back to hammer and chisel, and we're going to head out to the next and final weapon. And then we'll actually, after obtaining the weapon, we'll actually end this video there. Because we're going to do that temple anyway, and that's where I will show you to where to get the upgrade material, or the weapon art. Yeah, so the mace, the long mace, does fire. The hammer and chisel does an AoE dagger attack, and the next weapon is actually ice mace. Because you gotta have fire in. Alright, and in fact we're gonna skip going to the sister, because I'm pretty confident in getting to the next temple without dying. As I said, you can go through there, but I'm going to show a alternate route. Come down here. We're not going to mess with this guy just because we're short on time, and on top of that, if you fight him down there where he sits, he has a buddy that will come out and attack you. Now we are going to get these two over here. These guys are pretty easy to... I thought I... Perfect. Oh, that was on the other file. Do that. Nice thing about these guys is once you kill them,
top of that, grab this glimpse of truth. Now that will give you 15 glimpses of revelation. Alright, that's up to them. So now whenever you want to come this way, that area will be completely clear. You can just run on through it to this tunnel. Alright, so we're gonna run through. There's a couple enemies here. There's that big boy right there. You guys there. Come down here. And there's a checkpoint. Okay, so they can follow you down here. The last time I came down here, the enemies seemed to leave me alone after I hopped down the stairs, but I guess that's not the case. Now, this next weapon, so we've got two, I guess you could call them light or fast-paced weapons. That'd be the hammer and chisel and the hallowed sword. Come on. And then the two heavy weapons are the long mace and a greatsword. I went the wrong way. That's the downside to having these narrow hallways. If you're not going straight, if you turn even once, your camera gets messed up and you end up going the wrong way. I kind of hope they do something about that tunnel leaving the Falgrim Tower too, because it's got those three enemies. Well, there's the three enemies that sit outside it. Only two of them arguably aggro once you leave the tunnel, but they aggro before the animation is done, so you can actually take damage before you're able to fully control your character. Eager for another taste, foundling. Not so hasty. Not all places are as friendly as Falgrim. There won't be any merriment around a bonfire here. Only the dead call this place home. All that remains are scavengers gnawing on bones. An intruder like yourself will not be welcome. So then, would you like another sip?
Yes, please. No, we can't get to 2500 car. Otherwise, we get that upgrade. That ability. Well, caps. This game is very good about leaving wealth caps right before a major fight. Or major-ish. You'll get wealth caps at the beginning of an area, more than likely. That way, you have, well, I wouldn't say you have a chance, but each area is going to have new enemy types that you may or may not find out in Falgrim. So, you know, they'll give you a wealth cap or two. That way you can test the waters. say it's actually easier to time than, as I messed timing up on that one. It's actually easier to time than the why I think this is meant to be the first temple. For you to take on. That being said, due to the, well, I'll pick that up in the next video. We're going to end it here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like, go ahead and leave a comment down below. As a reminder, you can catch me streaming on Saturdays around noon Eastern Time. And in the next video, we are going to make our way through the first temple. Alright, so until next time.